we can start now with the presentation. Can we?
Thumbs up from my side.
Thank you very much. So my name is Roland Reyer. I'm a technical specialist at Autodesk for the Maya side of things. And today I would like to show you two presentations actually. The first one is going to be Shotgun, our cloud-based production management system. And the second one is going to be Maya 2017. You see it here on the slide. The agenda for Maya 2017, we're going to talk about workspaces in the new release, the changes to the mesh system, and then XGen, where we have the new interactive grooming, and finally the time editor, which is a big improvement, a big piece of new technology in Maya. That is definitely the highlight of today's presentation. And after that, we will have around 1 hour break. I don't know how long this presentation is going to be, the Maya presentation. Shotgun will be a little bit shorter than an hour, so maybe we have something like 15 minutes break in between before we go on with Maya 2017. So let's jump right in. Shotgun, as you can read it here in the slide, is as I said, our online or cloud-based production management system, production tracking system. And I have a presentation that was created by my English colleague Stuart Holloway, and he did some work to try to explain how Shotgun is going to change your work environment once you have adopted it. And for this, I'm going to switch to the next layout here and some presentation slides. I'm trying to see the presentation on another screen so that I can estimate, you know, what the performance is for you and what it looks like for you. So that's why I'm looking to the side here from time to time. Here's my monitor, here's the camera, and here's an extra monitor where I can see what you should receive. So let me start the presentation here. I'm going to talk over it. I hope you don't hear any sounds because I have removed the sound from this video, which was Stuart Holloway talking over the whole thing. So Shotgun, as I said, is our cloud-based production management system. And the main question that comes up, why do we need something like Shotgun? So if you don't use it already, you may ask yourself, so why do I need another piece of software from Autodesk? You know, cost me money, and what's it good for? What's it doing for me? And this is the presentation that should answer these questions here. So the first thing that when we talk about Shotgun, we have to talk about the complexity of a modern day pipeline. It could be a post-production pipeline, could also be a game production pipeline. It's the same thing. We have to manage a whole lot of complexity. You see here, we are talking about pre-production, production, and post-production, and a lot of different steps, departments, people are working together, steps where you have to handle the material, and then at the end, something comes out of it. That is the final compositing. And you know, not only is one shot really complex thing to do, we have many shots or many assets in a game production and many people that are working together, you know, different ways of communicating with each other, etc., etc., etc. You know, when you're working in production, you know it already, it's a quite complex thing. So how were companies managing that before? Or how do companies who don't use Shotgun today, how are they managing that complexity? Well, the answer is when you're working in a production, you know it already. The answer is that the companies are using disjointed applications. So lots of separate applications like PowerPoint, chat applications like Skype, Google Docs, for example, Excel spreadsheets, Mail, Vimeo, and YouTube to share videos, the phone, and sometimes even, you know, physical Post-its to manage the whole complexity of the production on the wall. And Shotgun, as you can see here, is an approach to unify that all and take it into one package and make this whole thing easier for you so that you don't have to fiddle around with all these separate applications and copy data from here to here and you know, do manual work to keep track of everything. Shotgun should make it easier, and once you have adopted it, should, you know, streamline your whole production. So once you have adopted it, how would that work? So let's have a look at a sample team. So here's a team that my colleague Stuart Holloway has put together. We have Keith, who is the manager and producer of the company. Bradley, who stands for all the artists in the company. Sheila is the, let's move back a little bit. Sheila is the supervisor of the company, and Reg is finally the pipeline engineer. So this is a sample crew of a company. You know, we have all the roles that are in such a company, and how would they start in the morning? So once you have adopted Shotgun, they would all come in the morning and log in to Shotgun. So Shotgun is as I said, it's a cloud-based offering where you have these such a page here, such a welcome page, and you can customize that. And on this welcome page, you see up here, you see a menu bar. That's the main menu bar where you pick things. And you can, for example, go here to projects. And I hope you see my pointer because I don't see it on my extra on my extra monitor here. So you go to the projects menu and choose one of the projects. And once you have done that, you go into, or you see a little bit of different view where you have a project-related menu bar, which is the one down here where the mouse pointer is. And on this project-related menu bar, you choose where you want to go. And you see that the whole thing is very much like a Facebook page where you have a chat region and you can talk to people. All the people are there. The media that you produce in your company is there, etc. So let's have a look at the different personas and see what all these people have to do or need to do with Shotgun. So Keith, our manager, for example, needs to be able to plan. So here we see a crew planning page where you enter all of your people in the company, and then on the right side you enter the timing. So who's working on which project at what time of the year, and also who's on vacation, who is sick, etc. And then we have another page where you plan all the projects, all of your ongoing projects, and you make phases and you set milestones, for example, to get an overview what you are doing. That's done already because you are using Excel spreadsheets, for example, to lay that all out. Another thing that this manager needs to be able to do is to track things. So here on this page, you see a lot of assets that need to be created, which is nice as images, but this one is much more informative. This is a page where you can see, you know, what kind of assets we want to create. And then here in these columns here, you see the different stages. This could be modeling, texturing and material, rigging, and then rendering, for example, or animation or something like that. So the different phases, and you decide what these phases are. This is all customizable, and you can set or define these steps here. And Keith, when he tracks things, he looks at this page and customizes this page for his own needs so that he can see at a glance, he can see immediately what's going on in my production. Are we good in time? He can select things and say, all of these are on hold, for example, because the people are sick, or we have to put that back. We are working on something different at the moment. And then in this view here, which is very much like a Facebook kindish view, you can track what's going on because people in your company, the artists, have their tasks and they respond, and they also respond saying like, I finished this one here, you know, the next person in the pipeline can do the next step. And then Keith needs to be able to assign tasks. So in a schedule view, you have all of your assets. So each of these blocks here is one asset, and you have the working steps in there. So in this example here, we have layout, effects, light, and comp in here, or animation is also in there. And all of these steps need to be scheduled at a certain point in time. So here we open the calendar view and say, okay, this is going to start at a certain point in February, for example, or maybe I'm going to shift it to the end of February. And then I set a length for the whole thing. And after that, when this thing is done, you know, there are dependencies, and these are all the other steps in the workflow where you say, okay, now it needs to be lit, and then it needs to be rendered and effects, and then comped together. All of these steps depend on each other, and if you delay one of the steps, then of course anything else will shift. And then this is a little bit, or sounds at the beginning a little bit ridiculous. Keith needs to be able to make notes. Yes, of course, everybody needs to be able to write something down from time to time. But if you are managing a production already, you know that this note-taking, this recording of the whole communication of a production is a vital central point of such a production, because you need to be able to go back in time and look at what people were communicating, why there was a misunderstanding, why something did not work properly, and why, you know, or maybe why it did work properly. So this is the communication is a very central part of, you know, our whole work. So Shotgun will record all our communication, whatever we write on as comments. For example, here on a page where you do the review of all of these shots, you write down comments like, this is good, this is bad, I like this to be changed. That is during the production, of course. As a supervisor or as a manager, you want to do that, but also with your customers. So with your customers, you need to communicate. We will see that later when we look at Sheila's supervisors. And of course, you also want to create reports, so you can customize your own reports of, you know, where's my production? Are we good in time or not? You know, why are we not good in time? Which are the parts that are working? Which are the parts that are not working? So you can customize everything. All of the pages in Shotgun can be customized and adapted so that it meets your needs. So you see that Keith as a manager has a lot of different tasks. So for the artist, it looks much more simple, but because of the artist is circling around, you know, producing content. He is producing content, and this whole communication thing and, you know, checking thing is only on the side. So the artist is mainly working in this view here in a communication view, which is the My Task. So in My Task, he will find the things that he needs to do at the moment. Somebody has assigned a task to him or sent him an asset that is now ready for his work. And from within, and let me stop it here, from within Shotgun, he can launch Maya or Photoshop or 3ds Max or Flame, for example, and some other applications. He can launch his application directly from here. And in the application, is it running? Yeah. And in the application, you will also see that in the application, there's special menus for Shotgun or coming from Shotgun that tell you where the files are, for example, and allow you, and allow you to directly communicate what's going to be the next step. So here, for example, in the Shotgun menu, you see here's a Shotgun menu. The artist would go into the Shotgun loader and load the assets that he's supposed to work on. So for example, this barrier here that he needs to load. So Shotgun is pointing him in the right locations. You can set these locations. You can have different locations and customize everything. And once the work is done, he would go into the publish dialog, which is this one here. Just a second. So go into publish. And publish means I'm going to make Shotgun aware of the whole thing. So this is, let's stop it here. This is the publish dialog. And you, of course, you can work on a file and then just save it to your local hard drive, which is cool as a backup. But, you know, once you are done with the work, it needs to go somewhere. It needs to go somewhere where other people can access it and work with it and find it. You know, that's the biggest challenge. Saying somebody I'm done with it, I'm done with my work won't help you, because you need to communicate where's the file, which version is it, what do you need to do exactly, and which assets are we working on? Is it this one, or is it another one where I should add a tree or whatever it's supposed to do? So this publish dialog that you see here allows you to take a snapshot of your scene, to write comments, very important, because you want to send a message back to the person who gave you that task, or to the next person who's going to work on this asset So for example, I place this asset in the scene, but now somebody needs to work on the texture to fix the texture because it's not working okay. And then publishing puts the whole thing back into Shotgun. So we have images there. You can also record playblasts or any movies or so. And you can also communicate more stuff. So the next thing that the artist is going to do is say, I'm done with it. I'm going to go into my communication, into my inbox here and write somebody a message. I could do that, of course, but the other person has to go into my tasks to find the next task and then to launch the next product, Photoshop, for example, to work on the texture. Okay? So you get the idea, everything circles around Shotgun, or Shotgun becomes the central element of the whole thing. So whatever I do, I dive into another application, I'm coming back to Shotgun, here's my notes, here's my results, my images, my files. So in Shotgun, or Shotgun will also deliver you these panels in the different applications. So you will have in Maya such a panel with communication, so that the chat with your peer artists, for example, or with your managers. So all of the applications have these panels built in so that you don't even have to leave the application. So for example, here's a Maya where the panel is built into the user interface and you can communicate right from within Maya. You don't even have to switch to a different window, to a different monitor. It's in the application. It's very convenient. So it helps you to streamline this process where you otherwise would have to manually, communicate and send somebody a message, and you know how easy things get lost in your mail, for example. And here you see all the applications: Maya, 3ds Max, Flame, even Cinema 4D, Photoshop, and I got the name, sorry for it. So here you see this circle, which is, the artist picks something up in my tasks. He works with native tools, so he jumps from Shotgun into Maya, 3ds Max, and then, goes back into the inbox, and then, the whole circle starts new. He picks up his next task, which is very convenient. So you never have to wait for something, or you never have to wait for somebody come by and give you new things to do. You just pick it up in your My Tasks list. Okay, so the next person that we talk about is Sheila, the supervisor. So what does a supervisor need to do? A supervisor needs to be able to review artists' work and the different versions. So here we are talking about media. So she's now in the media hub, where all of the media is collected. Maybe not physically, it doesn't have to be one folder, but it's a collection in Shotgun where you can say, whenever I look for some media or something, that artwork that has been done, I'm going to look there. And then you have this web-based viewer here. So it is possible to have that as a web-based viewer, but we also have a real product around it, which is RV. And this viewer lets you or your clients, your customers, draw into the image on the animation. So let's loop back a little bit. So here on the animation, while the animation is playing, you can see, okay, this is the intention of the whole thing. That's a preview, and this is the rendered thing. And I'm looking at it, and I don't like it. I want this explosion to be spread a little bit more. And you can communicate directly from here. So you don't have to go into another application or pick up the phone or write a mail or something. You just make a screenshot and say, or you paint on top of the animation, and you send the artist a message like, I want you to change this. And you can do more things like, the whole thing, this review page is a real workflow. So now we also have this desktop media player, and we can put things together. We can say we make a playlist, for example. So collect a playlist and then send it to the customer. So this is the desktop application that you see here, the RV desktop application. right? So I can see things side by side and compare them even on top of each other and slide a line back and forth to compare the versions, different lightings, for example. And then you can also, in this example here, you can also collect material from outside. So for example, you found an animation on the web and you say, this is the look that I want, or the motion that I want for my character, for example, and I'm grabbing that and put it into Shotgun. So next time I communicate with the artist, I can take it and say, look, here's some reference material. I want it to look like that, or, you know, behave like that, or move like that. Very important part to be able to bring things in. So here is the review part where you can share things with your clients. So your client gets a mail and you can require password entering or so when he accesses the page. So you invite your client. You see that here. The client gets a message like, please have a look at the sequence here. We need your approval. The client gets a mail. It's a customized mail form. Look how nice it looks. The customer just clicks on the link and he gets a web-based review page like this one here. And he can say, this is approved or this is not approved, and send you comments back. And this, everything is documented. So once the client clicks on approve, it is approved because it's documented. You know what I mean when you are working with clients, right? So even this is ready, laid out, and you can use it right away and of course customize it for your own needs. So we need to communicate, receive feedback, and communicate about the feedback. So she can now, you know, forward it to the artists or give artists a better comment about what needs to be done here. And again, attach reference material to really show what you mean and draw in the animation. So when Sheila is out of the office, she still wants to review things. And of course, you can access that web page on your mobile, but you can also, on iPhones at least, you can access our Shotgun app, which allows you to review things, to draw on the image with your finger, communicate. Like here you draw, send feedback, take pictures, like here is some reference about what the light is supposed to look like, send the feedback back to the artist, and you're done. Because we all need to travel from time to time. That's an important part. Okay, and finally, we talk about Reg, the pipeline engineer, who normally is not part of this day-to-day busy running, except maybe he needs to fix tools, he needs to write scripts and programs, write plugins, for example, and you know, keep the whole thing running from that perspective. And of course, he needs to also be able to access Shotgun, but from a different side, you know, from an engineer side. So he needs to be able to write scripts in Python, for example. He needs to be able to write plugins for other applications. So maybe your studio has written your own applications that you need to connect to Shotgun to be able to, for example, you know, access data inside, communicate about file location, etc. So you see that the engineer has access to a nice community where he can load source examples and discuss things with other engineers and other companies to get his things done. Or it's a very important part, an important aspect of such a production pipeline system, right? So everyone in this environment, or everyone in the production facility, should benefit from Shotgun because everything is centralized. So, or at least these disjointed applications now, you know, are in one surrounding application. It is cloud-based, as I said already. It will change the way you work, definitely. It should make everything more fluent and easier because Shotgun is, you know, is taking things out of your hands that you normally have to do manually. You know, walk around, communicate with people, copy things from one application into another one, or at least, you know, copy things onto a memory stick, for example, to send it to your clients, because you have no other way to really securely communicate what you are doing and get the approval and feedback from your customers. So many of these things become easier. The whole thing works so that you log, or first time when you create an account on the Shotgun page, if you Google Autodesk Shotgun, you're going to land on the Shotgun page and you can make your own account. And then the first thing you are asked to choose is a name for your page. And that should be, you should carefully choose, this is your company. It will be your company's page. And you are just one user. So the first user, maybe you are a manager or somebody who wants to try out. Maybe you are the pipeline engineer and you want to see how it works. So you make your company's page and then you need more users. So for a month, at least, you have Shotgun in a testing, in a trial period where you can invite as many users as you like and try the whole thing out and try the customization. So Shotgun website also has a lot of tutorials in there and even some movies where you can see how that works and how you customize the whole thing. It's being developed a lot, so it's a very fast pace that our developers have there. It's cloud-based. It means that you need to be online. If you really need a local installation, then come talk to us. It's a different procedure, and it's definitely costs something because the local installation is a difficult and different thing. But you can always talk to us about it, and we find a solution for that. So that was my Autodesk Shotgun presentation.